Thought you'd seen everything from Caleb Williams this season? Thought Ben Johnson had nothing left to prove? Well, I've got breaking news that's shaking the very foundation of Soldier Field. Today, I'm bringing you 3 bombshells that are rocking the entire Bears organization. First up, our quarterback just shattered a franchise record that stood untouched for nearly 3 decades. But that's not all. Wait until you hear what happened when that same QB showed up to the stadium wearing a shirt that sent half of Chi-Town into a frenzy. And to top it all off, we've got to talk about the defensive meltdown that left us with more questions than answers heading into the playoffs. This is the kind of info nitrogen monoxide real Bears fan can afford to miss. Smash that like button and hit subscribe right now, because what's coming next could define the future of this franchise. Stick around till the end. I've got a question that's gonna split the Bear Nation right down the middle. Man, I've been waiting years for this moment. Since I was a kid running around the South Side in my navy and orange jersey, I dreamed of seeing a Bears quarterback break records. And it finally happened. Caleb Williams just did what no other QB in this franchise's history has ever done. He threw for more than 3,838 passing yards in a single season. Do you realize what that means? Eric Kramer set that record back in 1995. 1995. Folks, some of y'all weren't even born yet. 30 years we waited for someone to throw more yards than Kramer. Jay Cutler tried in 2014 and came up short. Rex Grossman, Kyle Orton, Mitch Trubisky all failed. But Caleb Williams, in just his second season in the NFL, got it done last Sunday against the Lions with a 25-yard touchdown pass to Jedi Walker. Williams hit 3,839 yards, officially passing Kramer. And I gotta ask, was that just luck? You think it's a coincidence that in Ben Johnson's first year as head coach, we've got the most productive quarterback in Bears history? I'm telling you right now, it's not a coincidence. It's what happens when you finally have an offensive system built for the 21st century. For decades, this team clung to an outdated defensive mindset. The Bears win with defense. They told us, we don't need an elite quarterback, they said. Meanwhile, we watched Aaron Rodgers torch us twice a year from Green Bay. But now, with Ben Johnson calling the shots and Caleb Williams executing, we're witnessing a historic transformation. Williams didn't just break the yardage record. He also set new franchise marks for fourth-quarter comebacks and game-winning drives. This kid's got ice in his veins, a winner's mindset, and the talent to bring Chicago back to glory. And you know what's wild? There are still people who doubt Caleb Williams, who say he had an extra game compared to Kramer because the regular season now has 17 games instead of 16. So what? Does that make what he did any less impressive? I don't think so. Williams is writing his own story in Chicago, and he's just getting started. Check the full stats. Williams finished the regular season with over 3,900 passing yards, becoming the first Bears quarterback to even sniff 4,000 in a season. Yeah, you heard that right. The Chicago Bears are the only team in the entire NFL that's never had a 4,000-yard passer. That's embarrassing for a franchise with our history, but Williams is about to change that. Let's compare this to what Kramer did in '95. That year, the Bears went 9-7 and missed the playoffs. Williams, on the other hand, led the Bears to an NFC North title for the first time since 2018, racked up more than 10 wins, and has us in position to make a Super Bowl run. See the difference? And it's not just about numbers. It's about how Williams has elevated the entire offense. DJ Moore is having his best season as a Bear. Keenan Allen still a reliable target. Rome Odunze is developing into a future WR1, and the offensive line, which was a mess 2 years ago, is now giving Williams the time he needs to run Johnson's system. Let me ask you, when was the last time you saw a Bears quarterback play with this kind of confidence? When was the last time you felt like we had a real shot to win every Sunday? No matter who we were facing, I'd say you'd have to go back to 2006 with Rex Grossman, and we all know how that Super Bowl ended. But Williams is different. He's got the talent, the mindset, and the right system around him. Ben Johnson is designing plays that highlight his strengths, his mobility, his pinpoint arm, his ability to read defenses, and the results speak for themselves. Now, let's be real. This season hasn't been perfect. Williams still makes rookie mistakes. Sometimes he forces throws. Sometimes he holds onto the ball too long, but those are fixable. Those are expected from a second-year QB. What matters is he's improving every week. learning from his mistakes and proving he's got what it takes to be a franchise quarterback. And you know what else I love about Caleb Williams? His attitude. This kid isn't satisfied with breaking records. He wants to win championships. He wants to bring the Lombardi Trophy back to Chicago. And that mindset is exactly what this city needs. So yeah, Caleb Williams broke the Bears' passing record. But this is just the beginning. I guarantee we're gonna see more records fall in the years to come. We're gonna see Williams become the most dominant quarterback in franchise history. And finally, we're gonna see the Bears consistently compete for Super Bowls. Bear down, Chicago, our future's in good hands. If that blew your mind, wait till you hear this. Just when we thought Caleb Williams had the perfect Sunday breaking records, he almost sparked a riot at Soldier Field, and all because of a shirt. Let me set the scene. It's Sunday morning. Fans are rolling into the stadium. The energy's electric because we all know Williams is about to make history. Then the cameras catch our quarterback walking into the locker room, and what's he wearing? A green and yellow shirt with the number 12 on it. Can you imagine the reaction? Half of Chicago nearly had a collective heart attack. Social media exploded. The comments on the Bears' official posts were pure panic. Why is Caleb wearing a Packers shirt? Is that an Aaron Rodgers jersey? What the hell is going on? And honestly, can you blame the fans? After decades of watching Aaron Rodgers destroy us in that same green and yellow, seeing our quarterback in those colors felt like betrayal. Like someone in your family rocking enemy colors. Unforgivable, but here's the twist. Turns out it wasn't a Packers shirt. We all need to take a breath and get the full context before crucifying Williams. The shirt was from Ben Johnson's high school team, the AC Reynolds Rockets. Johnson wore number 12 back in the day, and Williams was paying tribute to his coach. It was a classy move, a respectful gesture toward the guy who's transforming the Bears' offense, but I'll say this, someone in the organization should have thought this through. Someone should have said, hey Caleb, that shirt looks way too much like a Packers jersey. Maybe wear something else, because look, I get the intention. I get that Williams wanted to show appreciation for Johnson, but in Chicago, wearing green and yellow is a cardinal sin. Doesn't matter the context, doesn't matter the reason. Those colors represent everything we hate in football. And that brings me to a bigger point. Are the Bears being careful enough with their public image? Are they thinking about how every little action might be interpreted by a fan base that's been through hell for decades? Let me ask you, how often do you see the Packers make these kinds of mistakes? Or the Patriots? Or the Chiefs? Never, because winning organizations sweat the details. Now, let's be fair to Williams. The kid's 23. He's in his second season. He probably didn't even think about how that shirt would look. He probably just wanted to do something nice for his coach, and I respect that. I believe his heart was in the right place, but here's the lesson in Chicago. Everything matters. Every gesture, every word, every piece of clothing, because this city has suffered too much. We've seen too many lost seasons, too many failed quarterbacks, too many humiliations at the hands of the Packers. We're starving for success, and we're hypersensitive to anything that feels like disrespect to Bears tradition. And you know what worries me? That this becomes a distraction right when we're gearing up for the playoffs. The last thing we need is national media talking about Shirtgate instead of focusing on the fact that we've got a record-breaking quarterback and a team ready to compete for a title. So here's my message to Caleb Williams: we forgive you this time. We get that your heart was in the right place, but please, never wear green and yellow in public again. Doesn't matter the reason, doesn't matter the story. Those colors don't belong in Chicago. And to the fans still upset, take a deep breath. Our quarterback broke a 30-year record that same day. He's taking this team places we haven't seen in years. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. But let's also make sure he understands what it means to wear navy and orange. Bear down, and let this be the last time we talk about green and yellow shirts at Soldier Field. Now here's where things get really wild. While we were celebrating Williams' record and debating his wardrobe, the Bears' defense was putting on one of the worst performances of the season, and that, my friends, is what should have us worried. Heading into the playoffs, the Detroit Lions lit us up in the first half. They embarrassed us in our own house, and the worst part, it looked like our defenders weren't even trying. Like they knew the game didn't matter because we'd already locked up the division. And you know what? That attitude is unacceptable. I don't care if we already clinched the playoffs. I don't care if we won the NFC North. When you put on a Chicago Bears uniform, you play to win. Always. This franchise was built on defensive tradition. The Monsters of the Midway, Butkus, Urlacher, Peppers, those guys never took a game off. Never quit, but on Sunday, I saw a defense that looked like it had given up before kickoff. C.J. Gardner-Johnson got torched over and over in coverage every time the Lions had a big play. You could bet Gardner-Johnson was involved, and I gotta ask, is this the guy we want to trust in the playoffs? Look, I get it. Gardner-Johnson brought energy and experience when he got here, but lately, he's been more liability than asset. And with all the injuries we've had in the secondary, we can't afford to have a safety constantly out of position. I think Ryan Poles made the right call signing him as a short-term fix. We needed help. He was available, but looking ahead to 2026, I don't think we should bend over backwards to bring him back. We need to invest in young talent guys who can grow with this team long-term. And then there's Dennis Allen, our defensive coordinator, a guy who's supposed to be a defensive mastermind, but on Sunday, I saw a game plan that made zero sense. We played way too much man coverage against a team with fast receivers and a quarterback who can sling it. Why didn't we adjust? Why did we keep doing the same thing over and over when it clearly wasn't working? The Lions were cooking us in man coverage, and Allen didn't make any real changes until it was too late. I'm telling you, we don't have the pass rush to play that much man. We need more help over the top. We need more zone. We need schemes that hide our weaknesses, not expose them. And let's talk about Andrew Billings, a vet, a guy who should know better. Early in the game, with the Lions up 6-0 and facing fourth down deep in their own territory, Billings jumped off sides, gave Dan Campbell a free first down. The Lions went on to score a touchdown on that drive. Can you believe that? A basic, avoidable mistake that cost us 7 points. I hate singling out one player, but that was a turning point. That's the kind of mistake you can't make if you want to win in the playoffs. And here's my biggest concern: if Ben Johnson said we were playing to win this game, why did it look like nobody on defense got the memo? Why did it feel like we were playing a preseason game instead of gearing up for the playoffs? I get the argument about avoiding injuries. I get that some coaches like to rest starters in the final week, but we're not the Kansas City Chiefs. We're not the Philadelphia Eagles. We don't have the luxury of taking a game off. Our recent history doesn't allow it. Remember 2018? We won the NFC North at 12-4, went into the playoffs with confidence, then lost at home to the Eagles in the wild card round. One of the most painful losses in recent memory. Do we really want to repeat that? Do we want to head into the playoffs with negative momentum after losing to the Lions, or do we want to go in with confidence, with energy, with the belief that we can beat anyone? I think Ben Johnson made a mistake not taking this game more seriously. Yeah, we already won the division. Yeah, we're in the playoffs, but momentum matters, confidence matters, and giving away a game to a division rival is never a good idea. Let's be fair, the Lions are a great team. Dan Campbell's a great coach, and they were playing for something to the top seed in the NFC. So it's not like we lost to a scrub team. But the way we lost, the lack of effort in the first half, that's what worries me. Because in the playoffs, there's no room for error. You can't start slow and expect to come back. You can't make dumb mistakes and hope the other team bails you out. You've got to be locked in, ready to play your best football from the first snap. Are the Bears ready for that? After what I saw Sunday, I honestly don't know. I think we've got the talent. I think we've got the coaching. But do we have the mindset, the discipline, the hunger? Those are the questions that need answers in the coming weeks, because if we play in the playoffs like we did against the Lions, we're gonna be one and done. And after everything we've accomplished this season, winning the division for the first time in years, that would be a tragedy. So here's my message to Dennis Allen and the entire defense: wake up. This is not the time to relax. This is not the time to be satisfied. We've got a shot to do something special, something this city hasn't seen in decades. But it's only gonna happen if everyone is all in. Bear down. And let's hope the defense we see in the playoffs is the one we know and love, not the one we saw against the Lions. All right, Bear Nation, we covered a lot today. Caleb Williams breaking historic records, the shirt controversy that nearly caused a riot, and the concerning defensive collapse against the Lions. 3 stories that are shaping the future of this franchise right before the playoffs. Now I want to hear from you. Do you believe Caleb Williams can lead the Bears to a playoff win? Or are you worried the defense might let us down when it matters most? Do you think Ben Johnson should have taken the Lions game more seriously? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think about this team's future. And if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, what are you waiting for? This is where Bear Nation comes together to talk, debate, and celebrate everything about our team. We're a family here, a community of passionate fans who live and breathe Navy and Orange. So join us, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell so you don't miss a single update. Because I promise you more breaking news is coming, more deep analysis, everything you need to be ready for the playoffs. And you do not want to miss any of it. Bear down, Chicago, our time is now, and together, we're gonna enjoy every second of this ride to the Super Bowl. See you in the next video. Bear down.